When I was a little cat man, I thought, why don't we just give everybody a free house? Then I grew up and I learned that we can't give everybody a free house. We need to give everybody a free apartment because single family homes are ecologically just bad. Apartment buildings, you can fit a lot of people in there. Apartment buildings, they don't have to be these crap. Your apartment doesn't have to be this crappy little thing either. It can be a big thing. It could be multiple stories if you want. You can have balconies, and you can have this cool lobby. It doesn't have to be these tiny itty bitty hallways either. You can have this cool lobby on every single floor, or you could have an empty area in the middle. And you know what? The apartment buildings don't have to all be the same either. Like you'd have different architects working on like blocks of buildings, so there's one cohesive theme throughout all these blocks set by that architect. You'd have all these awesome buildings, and what we would do is design them too, so they can all be connected by bridges. Because bridges are pretty cool. Like nobody's seen a bridge and thought, "Oh, that's not cool." And this isn't a crappy little bridge right off the ground. I mean, this thing's up, and it's going to be covered so nobody can get thrown over, like in Blade Runner. Like if it were Blade Runner, somebody would be getting thrown off their bridge every hour of every day. And we're not going to have that. We're just going to cover the damn thing. Make sure people can't get thrown out of it. Or maybe we could have nets. Uh, there's a lot of ways to keep those bridges safe if we don't want to cover them. Because maybe you want to go up there and feel the breeze. That's a good point. You could get blown off by the wind if you're high up enough. So we definitely have to think about how to keep people safe on the bridges. But it'd be so cool to have these bridges, tunnels too, tunnels and bridges connecting everything. And you'd be able to walk across the entire city through all these buildings. And of course, we'd have mass transit because maybe you can't walk that far. Maybe, a lot of people live in cities these days, so maybe you can't walk all the way to the other side by yourself. You have mass transit within the buildings. You have a faster mass transit outside. Like in the buildings, you could have these cool little cars, like these on rail. What would they be called? They're not a monorail, not a thing. It's like a smaller thing. It's like a couple. Like each car would be just a couple of people. That kind of thing. It's kind of slow too. And then you have these bigger mass transportation things between the buildings. It would be so awesome to be plants and stuff all over the place. Like each floor, you could design it so the sunlight can come in. There's ways to get sunlight into the interior of a building. There's like a billion different ways. You can run fiber optic cable to do it. You just have gigantic windows. Like you make the floors really big, really tall. You have windows, so there's always sunlight coming in. Let's just say for some reason you can't do any of that. You have UV lights for the plants. What, awesome, right? That's kind of wasteful, so let's try to go for sunlight first. Uh, if we really do it right, we don't even need like cars. Cars are wasteful and they're expensive and they're useless when you have awesome mass transit. Like awesome mass transit between the buildings means you're not waiting for very long. Like there's no reason you have to have like just gigantic train. You don't have to have giant trains. You can have smaller pods, and you can have giant trains for larger groups. Because it is kind of wasteful to have this massive train running at 3 a.m. when nobody's going to use it. Just have smaller little pods on the rails. It'd be pretty cool, don't you think? I think it'd be pretty cool. Oh man, it is so awesome. And these people think, no, I want these little crappy single family homes, all look the same, and then there's no bridges, there's no tunnels, there's no awesome lobby. Like I can look down, I go all the way down to the bottom, like, oh man, it's so cool. But then somebody might throw me off. So again, got to think about nets or some way to keep you from being thrown over by some spy in a mystery movie. That would suck. Getting thrown off the balcony in your new free apartment. That would just suck so much. Or you could trip and fall over. Like even if it was pretty high, like it'd be possible. If you can see over it, you can fall over it. But If you want a free apartment like that, like, oh man, this is so awesome. If you want something like that, give me a like and a subscribe for some reason. I have no idea what that's going to do for free apartments and awesome apartment buildings. Comment or actually, I don't really care what you do. Just do whatever you want. But remember, free apartments, not free houses. And cool apartments, not these crappy studio apartments. Not craptacular apartments. I'm awesome, awesome apartments. Awesome apartments.